this is the interface of this Maya. So defaultly we will get with this one viewport here. So the viewport which you're going to see, it's called like an perspective view. So in Maya, we can see the object from different angles actually, like from top view, side view, front view, like we can see from different angles. So defaultly you'll get this perspective view. In case, suppose if you want to see like an 4 viewports at same time, we can press space here. Like if you press space, you can see this like 4 views here. So you can see like top view, front view, side view, like perspective view. These are the 4 views. So we can change it like a back view, bottom view, but defaultly these are the main viewports which you are going to see here now. So now these are the 4 viewports here. So what the thing is, the left side you can see these are the tools which you're going to see, like if you want to move the object, rotate the object, if you want to scale, whatever the tools you can go see in the left side here. And here this is the outliner which you're going to see. So outliner is nothing but like whatever the objects you're going to create in this Maya, all the objects will be shown here. The list of objects which you have created, it will show in this outliner here. And this is a channel box. So channel box is nothing but, see, whatever the object you're going to create, all the attributes of that object will be shown in this channel box, like rotate, translate, scale value, everything is going to be shown in this like channel box here. And also we can create the like layers later. According to the example, I can explain what is layers. And also there are some lot of options like increasing and decreasing the subdivisions of the objects. We can change the shape here. And also you can see if I create this object, you can see from the like different angles here. It's like if I create any cube, you can see this is a like top view, and this is a like front view, this is a side view, and this is a total perspective view here. So this is a channel box, means like we can see all the attributes of the object here. And this is, there is an like shelf editor. So here you can see there are different kind of shells. These are the main things which are going to use, means like whatever the objects are we are going to create, the main objects will be in the shelf editor. It's kind of like an shortcuts, like means whatever the main objects, main options are there, which will be seen in this shelf editor here. Means like, see, there will be a lot of options in this menu bar, but what are the main options we are going to use can be seen directly in this shelf actually here. So as Maya have 6 modules like modeling, texturing, lighting, rigging, dynamics, animation. So all the modules you can see in this option here, like modeling, rigging, animation. Effects is nothing but it's like a dynamics, and rendering is nothing but a lighting. So like rendering, it comes under lighting, and also the texturing here. Both will contain in the rendering tab here. So modeling we have a separate tab, like rigging we have a separate, animation we have separate, dynamics, and the rendering and texturing will be in the, means like lighting and texturing will be in the rendering tab here. So these are the menu tab here. So these are the common options. And also if you see, if you select this rigging, some of the menus will be changed according to its module here, whatever the thing we have selected here. Means like if you select this rigging, you will get the menu which related to the rigging options here. And suppose if you select this animation, you will get the menu which is related to the animations. According to that dynamics, we have like rendering. So the common, it will be up to the like Windows, means like file to Windows will have a common options, but according to this model, it will change the options from the after the window menu here. So we have a lot of options, menus and everything. So according to the example, what are the important things we are going to cover in this entire course here. So we have like shortcuts to switch between the modules. Like for example, if I press F2, it will switch to like modeling tab. Suppose if I press F3, it's going to be switched to like rigging tab, F4, F5, F6. So it's like sequential, like F2 modeling, F3 rigging, F4 like animation, F5 dynamics, F6 for like rendering here. So for timing, we are going to start with the modeling, and also we will stay in this modeling. So these are the things which we are going to create the objects here. Means we will use these objects and we can create a lot of different shapes. So even though you can create the character by using the box, we can create the character face by using the plane here. See, you can see this plane. So with the help of this plane, we can able to create the character face, vehicles, and also by using this we can create the box of we can create the body for the character. So there are a lot of things, means like we can increase and decrease the subdivisions here. According to that, like we will change the shape of the object. Actually here we will tweak the vertices so that we can change the shape of the object here. So in this way, we'll create different shapes by using these common shapes here. So this is a grid you're going to see, whatever the objects you're going to create, all the objects will be created based on the level of this grid. That means it's like a ground level. Everything will be created in this level only, like cube, cylinder. So if I want to switch back to the single perspective view, it depends on the positions of your mouse pointer. Just if you hover the mouse on this perspective view and if you press space, then it will like make a full screen for this perspective view. Again, if you want to switch back to like front view, then we can press space and we can hover the mouse onto this front viewport and just we can press space here. So it depends on your requirement. It depends on the positions of the mouse. You can make an maximize this viewport here. And if you want to make it complete full screen, then we can use control space to make the complete full screen here. So control space for like making normal, just like if I press control space, again it will make it like full screen here. And only space is for to switch between the viewports here. And here, if you want to like zoom in, zoom out into this viewports, you can use the mouse wheel button, just up and down. So you can make, you can able to zoom in, zoom out this viewport. And in case if you want to zoom it very slowly or precisely, because what the thing is when you use this mouse wheel, just it is going like according to the units which we have set. It's like fastly it is making and zoom in and zoom out. Sometimes what the thing is, if I create any object here, let's say I want to zoom to this vertex very slowly. Means like if I use this scroll options, completely it is making and fast zoom in, zoom out. If you want to make it very slow, then we can use Alt right mouse button and move the mouse front and back to make the zoom in, zoom out. Alt and right mouse button. So what the thing is, whenever you're using this Alt right mouse button, we can zoom in very slowly and zoom out very slowly in this way, like precisely. And only normal zoom in, zoom out, just we will use the scroll option here. And also in order to pan means just to move the camera like left, right, up and down. So we need to press Alt middle mouse button and we have to drag left, right, up and down here. Means like we need to move the mouse left, right, up and down. Same like panning in the Photoshop, like space, left click and drag. So when you zoom in the images, just if you want to pan, we will use a space left click. So in the same way, just we can move the camera up and down, left and right here. And also like suppose if we have a lot of objects here, let's say, so in case if you want to focus any object, for example, suppose if I want to edit this plane, we can press F here. So if you press F, what the thing is it will, the camera will directly focus onto this plane object. So whatever the things means, if you select this object and if you press F, then it will focus this object here. If you're not selecting anything, then directly it will focus entire scene here, means whatever the number of objects are there. So in case suppose if the object is very far, and if you are not selecting any object and if you press F, it will try to cover all the objects here. So here we have the tools, means like if you like select this, you are getting a rotation tool. If you're selecting this, we are getting a scale tool. And if you're selecting this, we can like see the move tool here. And also these are the selection tools. Only this is used to select the objects here. These three tools are to manipulate the positions of the object here, like rotation, scale, and position here. Yes, well. So whatever the things you are going to say, this will call it as an subdivisions, like green lines, which you are going to see. So the smoothness of the object depends on the number of subdivisions actually. And also it will take load on the system, depends on the number of subdivisions also. If you have a lot of subdivisions in this scene, then your system gets slow. It depends on your system configuration actually. Means like if you have low end systems, then we need to use the mesh according to our requirements actually. If you use high mesh, then your system gets stuck actually. So what the thing is, see, if you, for example, like see, if I increase, see, it is going to increase the smoothness of the object. See, now it has become complete round and perfectly. But if you decrease the subdivisions, it is going to change the shape of the object here. So actually what the thing is, the modelings has been considered as an like LODs, like when you're going to create any games. So LOD is nothing but the level of details. So in case suppose if they ask to create the character for the game, you need to create at least like 3 LODs. One is low quality, medium quality, and high quality. So what the thing is, it depends on the settings which you have selected in the game while you're playing. Means like suppose if your graphic card is very high, then you can go to the ultra settings, right? If you go to the ultra settings, you can see the models properly, and the textures are the quality of the textures will be increased. So if you are using the low graphic card and if you want to play it smoothly, then you need to decrease your settings, game settings, so that it will decrease automatically the quality of the character here. Means like it will decrease the subdivisions of the character when you change it to like medium or low quality. So that's why what the thing is, whenever we are going to create the characters, they will ask you to create like 3-4 LODs, level of details. According to that, whenever we change the settings, it will load that kind of mesh according to the settings here, like high, ultra, medium, or low. So in this, if you want to undo, just if you move, if you want to undo, just you can use Z actually. It means like the previous, all the other softwares, you have to press Control Z, but in Maya, you can use this Z option directly to undo actually. Undo, yeah, Z. And if you want to redo, Control Y. So in Maya, we have a limits also, means like same like in Photoshop. So defaultly you will have an like 50 undos or something. In case if you want to change it, we need to go to Windows, settings and preference. And there is an option called like preference here. And we need to select on this preference. And here there is an option called like undo. So what the thing is here, directly we can set it to like infinite, so that you can make an unlimited of undos in Maya. In case if defaultly it will be like finite, which will be like 50, or else you can increase, and just we need to click on this save option. So like in order to duplicate the objects, we can press Control D, so that we can duplicate the objects also, like Control D. And also we can use the shift and drag, so that we can duplicate, shift and drag in any axis. And also here you can see whenever we create a new object, it is going to show in this outliner. As I said, the outliner is very useful sometimes if you are not able to find the object in this scene. At least you can find in the outliner, and just you can select that object. If you want, you can delete or zoom in, like focus or something. We can use that outliner here. It's a very important option when we go for the rigging animations also actually, and even for modeling also. Means like if you create a vehicle will have a lot of objects. Like if you do like interior or something, in case interior, you'll have a small variety, different of objects. Sometimes it will be hard for us to select inside the character vehicle or something. You can select this and you can directly focus onto that object actually. And also in case suppose if you're not able to see this outliner, you can go to the Windows and you can select this outliner here. Sometimes defaultly you may not see this outliner, by mistakenly you can close or something. In case if you're not able to see this outliner, you can go to the Windows and just outliner, or else like we can reset this. If you want to reset this workspace, here you can see like top right workspace, and just you can use this reset current workspace, so that it will go back to the default one. Yeah, but here we lost this outliner. Now we can open this outliner here. So this is a workspace. So there are different workspace, but defaultly mostly we will use this classic. And when you're going for texturing or something, or action like creating dynamics hairs or something, we can go to this options here. For modeling, let it be like an Maya classic here. And also whenever we select this object, this you can see this is called as a pivot point. So pivot point is nothing but to change the positions of the object or to rotate or to scale the objects here. So at present, whatever the pivot point we are going to see, it is like a move tool. Okay, and it means like by using this, we can able to move the object in the particular axis, like X axis, Z axis, and the Y axis here. And also, you have to remember the thing is like always, X axis will be in the red color, Y axis will be in the green color, and Z axis will be in the blue color. Not only in Maya, in any software like Photoshop, 3ds Max, Blender, Houdini, whatever the softwares you see, all the softwares, the axis will be, the color of the axis will be same. Like X represents, sorry, the red represents the X axis, green represents the Y axis, and blue represents the Z axis. What the thing is, sometimes in some other softwares, you will not able to see these labels here. You have to identify by seeing the colors. Actually it means like red is nothing but it's like an x-axis, green is y, and blue is z-axis. Suppose if you want to orbit this camera, means like we can able to see the object in the 360 degrees. If you want to use this, we need to hold alt left mouse button and move the mouse up and down, left and right to orbit around the object here. Alt and left mouse button, and you have to drag the mouse according to your view here. It's like up and down, left and right here. And also, like if you hold space, means like as I said, if you want to switch back to the different viewports, you need to press space and release. But if you hold space and right click, from here also you can see there are other views also, like right view, left view, like back view, front view, bottom view. There are different views here. Defaultly, we are able to see only the 4 views. In case if you want to switch to like back view instead of front view, you need to hold space and you need to right click on this Maya. There is an like Maya. Don't release the space here. As I said, if you release the space, then it will switch to like 4 viewports. You need to hold space and right click. And right click also you need to hold for a while. Okay, don't release the right click, and just you can move the mouse according to your requirement, and just you can release. So it will go to the right view here. Space, and again go to the perspective. But here what the thing is, when you're using that option, it is changing the existing viewport. Actually means like, see, if it is a perspective view, if I space right click and if I go to the right view, actually it is going to change completely to the right view here. Okay, means like now you're not able to see any perspective. In case if you want to see the perspective, again you need to space right click and you have to switch back to the perspective here. Yeah. And in case if you are not using top view, because sometimes for character modeling the top view is not required actually. In case instead of top view, if you want to put it to like select like an right view or something, you can switch to right view here. So completely it will be like side. So right X here. Okay, right means we need to go to the left view. Okay, left X. So this is a side X, right, and this is a left X here in this way. Default level switch to the top view here in this way. And the final, I will say some shortcuts to move, rotate, and scale. So after that, next we will see actually how to like create the object in the next classes. So now we will see like how to move, rotate the object and also scale. So whenever we select this, we can able to see this pivot point here. So defaultly now we are in the move tool. So if you hover the mouse, I think here it's showing. See the bottom, see whenever you want to see the name of that options, you can see in the bottom left here. See, if I hover the mouse here, now you can see it is like an extract. So if you hover the mouse here, like it's like a move tool. If you hover the mouse, rotate tool. So whatever the tool names you want to see, just you can see in the bottom left corner. So you can able to identify. So now whenever we select this, at present defaultly it is in the move tool. So if you want to move the object, just you need to left click and drag so that it will move only in the y axis. If I left click here, it will move only in the z axis and also in the y axis here. And also here you can see it is changing the value in the translate X, Y, and Z here. Actually, what the thing is, defaultly the object value will be 0 means it's a center of origin. Means like, see, here you can see this is the origin here, the point which you are going to see in the center of the grid. So the value of this point will be 0, 0, 0. Means like 0, 0, 0 here. X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis. So according to that, it will be the positive and the negative directions here. And also how you can see the positive and negative. See, whenever I'm rotating this, you can see the axis is also rotating here. The gizmo here, we'll call it as an gizmo. So here you can see the axis. That means, see, now X is going towards this direction, right? That means this direction is nothing but the positive and the opposite is nothing but the negative value. And the up direction of the Y is positive, the down is negative. And here if you rotate, now this is a Z. So Z is negative, sorry, this side is positive and this side is negative here. In that way you have to see. If you create the object in the center now, let's say, so now see if I change this to 0, 0, 0. Now this is the x-axis. See, if I change it to this side, the right side, this is going to be like positive values here. If I go to the opposite side, now it is going to be the negative. So in this way you can able to remember like which axis means like on the what value it is going to be. See here, means like it's either like negative or like positive direction in, by seeing this thing here. So all the objects will be in the center by defaultly. Like defaultly means actually I have changed the settings here. If I go to this interactive creation, so now see, whenever you defaultly create, it is creating exactly in the center. I'm not dragging the object. Actually, previously I used to drag wherever we want, but whenever we select, automatically it is creating in the center. It is a default option actually. In case if you don't want, I want to create the object wherever we drag or something, then we need to go to this create. As we are creating the polygons, right? This is the polygons. So polygons, we need to change this option to interactive creation. Interactive creation is nothing but wherever we drag, it will create the object in that position here. So if you enable this, now whenever we select the object, see, it is not going to like create the object in the center. Wherever we drag, it is going to create the object in that position here. So now this is a move tool, and also we can move the object freely when you left click and drag in the middle. Means like you can move up and down, left and right in this way here. Freely we are able to move. But if you want to move only in the particular axis, you need to select that axis here. See, even though if you are moving the mouse up and down, left and right, still it is moving only in the selected axis. Now at present we have selected the x-axis, so it is moving only in the x-axis here. And the shortcut is W. If you want to switch to the move tool, then the shortcut is W. And next one is rotation. So if you want to switch to the rotation tool, we need to press E for elephant. So if you press E, then it will go to the rotation tool. So here we can able to rotate in all the axes like y-axis, z-axis, and the x-axis. If you want to move it freely, you need to click on this middle and just you can move it, rotate it freely here. And also if you want to give any particular angles, actually here you can give the angle also. Like if you want to rotate in y-axis to the 40 degrees or something, you can type like 40, it will rotate in 40 degrees here. It depends. So manually, if you want to rotate, just you can use this. Here you can see the value of y is changing, and if you rotate, it is going to change in the z-axis here. And now if you want to scale, we need to press R for scale. And now you can able to see this scale here. So just you can scale this, and you can scale in the z-axis and you can scale in the y-axis here. And if you want to make a uniform scale, you need to click on the center and you need to drag so that uniformly it will scale in all the axes here. And also sometimes for the new people, they will increase and decrease the size of this gizmo, like the pivot points. So in case if it happens to you, then we can, suppose if you want to increase and decrease the size of these pivot points, we need to use plus and minus to increase and decrease. Plus to increase the size of the pivot point, minus to decrease the size of the pivot point. So if you are in the rotation tool, you can increase and decrease this. Sometimes what the thing is, it will go very small or something. It's like you will not able to move, like scale it properly. So just we need to use the plus and minus button to increase and decrease the size of the gizmo here. And if you want to switch to the selection tool, we need to press Q. Selection tool is useful when we have a lot of objects here. Sometimes what the thing is, see, if you want to move any object, sometimes the pivot point will come in the center. So let's say if I want to move this object, sometimes the pivot point will be in the center. At that time, if you press Q, so what it will do is it will hide the pivot point so that only we can select the object here in this way. Again, you can switch back to W, E, R according to our this thing.